Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along to another customer review from us. This time we are up in North Yorkshire with farmer John Douglas, who's going to give us a talk through, a run through, give us opinions on how he's been getting on with KUHN's latest large square baler. So John, I mean, before we get stuck into this thing, the baler, just tell us a little bit about your farming business, just sort of what you're doing, who's involved.
We're a family farm, mixed beef and arable, with a bit of a sideline of our own AD plant as well. That's a joint venture with another company. We're farming roughly 1,200 acres, finishing around 2,500 cattle a year and a 500 kilowatt AD plant.
Right.
So, plenty going on.
I was going to say, enough to keep you busy there.
yeah, there's never a quiet day.
Obviously we mentioned we're in North Yorkshire, but just explain a little bit more about sort of where we are.
We're in the Vale of Pickering in the middle of Rydale. We're only 60 foot above sea level here, so we're quite a low-lying farm, heavy clay land. Land can be variable. Some fields are lighter, loamy stuff at one end and proper heavy at the other. So yeah, it's land that takes a bit of farming. So
on to the baler then, this beast from KUHN. I mean, first of all, which model is this one?
1290 ID, so it's same size baler as what we previously had with our New Holland 960, but we're getting a hell of a lot more in a bale. A lot squarer, better bale to handle, and a good 150 kilos more in every bale.
Right, and what would you put a lot of that down to?
The double plunger. The twin pack system is what makes the baler and was the main reason for going for it, as well as a few other nice touches what they've put on it.
And how long have you been running this machine so far?
We got it for spring last year, so yeah, it's in its second season now.
And how many bales would you say you put through it, roughly?
Well, I've done somewhere around about 7,000, I would have thought now, without looking at the clock, something like that.
So overall, so far in the short time that you've had it, how's it been?
Very pleased. It's sort of doing what it said on the tin. We have had a minor knotter issue, baling some really short, sticky grass that it was pushing it up into the knotters, but I think it was more the crop that was a problem than the baler. We've had similar problems with other balers in the past. So other than that, it's been pretty much problem free. It's a very simple baler. It's quite easy to set up, it's easy to service, and yeah, that was other selling point with it, that it's a very simple baler. There's not a lot of moving parts, and even though it's got a twin plunger, it's a very simple setup how they've done it.
And you mentioned a bit of baler history there. You previously had New Holland. Have you had any other square balers?
Yeah, we had a Bonhill many years ago, one of the first Bonhills, and it was a good baler, to be honest. It went well. It did us proud for, I think we had that for about 15 years, until it sadly slipped a tooth in the gearbox, and that was the end of that. And then we looked around at the time. We have a good New Holland dealership on the doorstep with Russells, and so that was main reason for going for New Holland, because we wanted a chopper baler, and the New Holland baler was a good baler of its day, but obviously things have moved on, and we were looking to go more higher densities to make leading easier and handling better for stacking them and everything if you get them that bit harder. And it makes a lot less work when you've got less bale to clear in harvest as well. It just speeds the job up no end. And so yeah, we looked about and we liked what KUHN had done with this, and knowing what KUHN are like with machinery, we weren't too frightened of having a go, even though it was a new product.
That's it. And you mentioned you kind of like to keep your balers a fair while. Is that like a general policy of yours when it comes to machinery?
We'd rather buy what we're after and keep it a long time than maybe buying sort of what you should have, sort of lesser machine, let's say. It just makes justifying having that better tackle work, really, and also, as everybody knows, that the hemorrhage money like hell in the first few years, and if you can last them out, plus we're not doing massive amounts of work because we're only using it ourselves, we're not going out contracting, so it should do a lot of years service for us.
Right, and how many sort of bales would you do per year for yourself?
Well, every year is different, isn't it? Last year there wasn't a lot because most of it was spring barley, as I'm sure everybody was in the same boat. In a normal year, you should be doing sort of 6,000–7,000 bales a year, no problem. It obviously depends what cropping is and how much grass you decide to bale and all the rest of it, because we clamp quite a bit of grass as well. So, but we've found that baling the grass and wrapping it, we're getting a better quality silage for the cattle. We're sort of on the edge of haylage, I would say, like a drier silage. And it's working in our cattle diet doing that. And we're getting less wastage and a better quality from it being wrapped rather than clamped. And the clamped silage is mostly going into the AD.
Right. So you mentioned, you know, you were fairly confident in the KUHN brand. I mean, is there anything else that sort of attracted you to the KUHN baler over, you know, other balers?
It was similar on price to others. New Holland, they've brought out the new ultra high density one, but at the time it wasn't available and it seemed like it needed more power than we really wanted to put on the baler. That was the main sort of point behind the KUHN baler. What we liked was we had a demonstration of an older shape one with the different guards on, and they only had it on a 180 horsepower tractor, and it was romping away putting 550 kilos in a bale, and it was basically baling half as fast again as what we could get our New Holland to eat it. And the nice thing with it is, because of the double plunger, you're not getting all that massive load. It's splitting the load on the tractor, so instead of getting that really big bang and pulling your tractor right back, it's more of a gentle bang bang rather than one big thud. And so it takes a lot of strain off the tractor, so you can get away with a smaller tractor on it. It's less diesel, and I think you're getting a squarer shaped bale from it as well, because the bottom plunger hits first, and if anything it's pushing a bit up into the top of the chamber, so you're getting really square edges on the bale as well.
So no banana bales then?
No more banana bales, no. And I think it's less load on the baler as well. Everything's just working that bit easier from splitting that load out. You're not getting such a massive high torque on all of the parts in the baler. And I just thought, what a clever design, and it was amazed me nobody else had thought of it really before. And it's quite a simple setup how they've actually linked the top and bottom together. You've only still got one arm coming off your gearbox, and it's very simple how it works. And also they've put massive bearings on the rollers for the plunger as well. It's a very, very well built baler. When you look at it, there's a lot of metal in it.
Yeah, it's going to stand a bit.
Yeah, exactly, which they need to do. They do get quite a bit of stiff.